It's Silly here with another Transgirl CNC where we talk about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd shit. So, you might have noticed that I'm wearing my Against Me t-shirt, which normally means we're talking about something either super punk or super musical, and that would have been kind of the case today, but I decided to go in a different direction with today's end of the week video. Instead, we're talking about this right here. Of course, it is the previews book. It always comes out the last week of the month. It's basically a previews book for what's coming out in June. So definitely go to your local shop, take a look at this, find something you like, order it, support your local shops, and you're just going to really enjoy ordering your comics ahead of time instead of showing up the day that they're supposed to be released and hoping that they're there. Especially if you live near a smaller shop. They don't get everything in, so you got to order it. I also know what our next two videos are going to be, so stick around to the end of this video to find out what our next topics are going to be. I'm pretty excited for both of them, so, definitely check it out. Anyway, let's get on with this. Boom! Now, if you're new to the channel, if you've never seen this before, what this is I suggest comics coming out from the previous book so that you can kind of get a jump start. You can hear about a couple that I think are going to be really great. Decide if you like them, go order them, or, just make a mental note of like, yeah, in June I need to pick up this. And that's kind of, the whole premise. I order a lot of comics, so I can't talk about all of them, so I generally try to keep the list to the top 4. This time we got a top 5. I just don't feel comfortable calling the one in the 5th slot the honorable mention this time, so let's get on with it. Let's talk about these comics. Boom. First up, number 5 slot is Stellar from Image Comics. Now, the writer is Joseph Keatinge, I'm not sure, and the artist is Brett Blevins. I've butchered both their names. It's okay. So Stellar is this girl. She's taken in by the military and she's made into like the ultimate end-all weapon. She's going to stop war. And then she does. She totally stops it across the galaxy, across the universe. And then she becomes a bounty hunter because there's nothing else for her to do. And her whole job is to kind of reconcile her past for herself, but also hunt down other weapons like her. I think it's going to be super cool, super neat. The art looks interesting and colorful, so I'm really looking forward to that. You would think that would get higher on the list, given my other videos, but it's kind of lower on the list just because of what else is on this list. But definitely check it out. That's Stellar by Image Comics. Next on the list, on number 4 slot is Charlie's Angels. That's right, Charlie's Angels. Now, if you've only seen the 2000s movies, which weren't amazing, then this is not exactly what you're getting into. This is going to be based on the original 70s TV show with writer John Layman, artist Joe Yzma. It's Charlie's Angels from the 70s. I was born in the 80s. I don't know why I'm excited about this. I've just heard lots of neat things about Charlie's Angels, and I'm just so jazzed to be talking about it, to be reading about it. So get your bell bottoms ready, feather your hair. We're going back to the 70s. We're going to check out fucking Charlie's Angels. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Number 3. Number 3 on this list is Regular Show, 25 years later, from Boom Studios. Now, if you've been watching my previous videos, you know that I think that Boom is the bee's knees. They're always just doing such great things, and this is no different. This is Regular Show, 25 years later, with writer Christopher Hastings, Anna Johnston, and basically, if you didn't watch Regular Show, which, fine, I didn't watch Regular Show for the longest time until I, got a weird, nervous, thing to watch it, and it's so amazing. It's like a love letter to my childhood. So, if you were born in the 80s or even the 90s, you can definitely totally get behind this show because it's everything you kind of grew up with, and in reference, I should say, referencing everything that you grew up with, and it's so just amazing and good. So I love it. So 25 years later is basically taking place after the cartoon ends, right where it ends, because if you remember correctly, spoiler for anybody who didn't watch Regular Show, totally go watch it, I'm sorry. The end of Regular Show was 25 years after the battle between Pops and Anti-Pops, And basically, this is going to be a comic about you can't go home again, because the tagline is that Mordecai and Rigby discover that things don't stay the same, they change. So this is going to be one of those kind of comics. I expect it's going to be kind of not only funny, but sort of, emotional in its own way. So definitely looking forward to this, and I hope you are too. That is Regular Show 25 years later, Boom Studios. It's number 3 on this list. So number 2 on this list, that's 4, 2, is Sword Daughter from Dark Horse Studios. Its writer is Brett Wood. Its artist is Matt Chatter. Chater, Chatter. And basically, it's Lone Wolf and Cub, but Vikings. Which, you would wonder why it's so high on the list, considering it's basically a Viking remake. I think they're going to kind of try to go in a different direction with it. If you haven't seen or read Lone Wolf and Cub, basically is about a father-daughter team whose village is destroyed by bandits or evil bad dudes, and they seek revenge, for their families, for their village. Same thing in Sword Daughter. I think she's going to kind of take the lead in this, whereas Lone Wolf did most of the revenge taking in Lone Wolf and Cub. I think it's going to fall more to the daughter in this story, and the art looks amazing and so realistic. Well, it's still a comic book, but you get what I'm saying. So that's why it's number 2 on the list, not, a little farther down, because I think it has really great potential to do something new and different with the story. Now, our number 1 comic for the week, or for the month, I should say, for the month of June, the number 1 thing that we're looking forward to, that I'm looking forward to, I should say, and if you didn't see this coming, I would say that you don't pay attention to previous videos, because I've had nothing but love for this franchise since, it came out, over a year ago. 2 years ago. I'll get that later. I've kind of talked about it a little bit already, but it's being officially released, as I knew it would be. Oh shit! It's Kim and Kim from Black Mass Studios. That's right. Of course I'm suggesting that. Of course that's number 1. Oh my goodness, I'm so just pumped about it. It's got the same brilliant team behind it. Magdalena Visaggio on writing, Eva Cabrera on arts, and colors goes to Claudia Agrier, who's done the colors before. It looks exactly like it's supposed to. So, if you don't know anything about Kim and Kim, this year is kind of appropriate when you think about it. They're basically bounty hunters in space. Kim and Kim is like this kind of punk rock opera in space. It's like the punk equivalent of Cowboy Bebop. Boom. There you go. That's a good way to describe it. And the fighting Kims are always kind of just down on their luck. Bounties get away, etc. It's really great. I really love it. And so in this one, Kim and Kim are going to a really snooty, glitzy space station called Santa Poma to try and con a master spy. So that's what they're going to do, but everything goes tits up. It's Kim Q's fault, as it always is, and I can't wait to see what happens, how it's her fault, how it goes tits up. It's going to be amazing. And that's just the first story for the series, because this is going to be the very first continuous series for Black Mask. 'Cause Black Mask generally only does 4-issue runs, 4 to 5 issue runs. That's what they do, and then they move on to the next thing. And sometimes you get a continuation, like Kim and Kim came, then that had 4 issues. Then Kim and Kim Love is a Battlefield, that had 4 issues, and now we have, oh shit, it's Kim and Kim, and it's actually going to be a continuous series. I'm so just freaking excited about it, because I really love the characters. I really love the people behind it. I get everything. I mean, everything that Eva Cabrera and Magdalena Visaggio do, whether they're working together or not. That's just how much love I have for this entire project. So, That's why it's number 1. You should have seen it coming. If you didn't, I'm sorry. That's what it is. That's it. That's all the review, or the previews for June. Check them all out. You're gonna like them. Video starting for next week. Next week's first video is going to be Lumberjanes. We're getting to the big 50th issue, so I can't wait to talk about it and why I love Lumberjanes and why you should love Lumberjanes, why you should check it out. There's so many graphic novels and trade paperbacks for them, so you can totally get caught up. Check, definitely. Issue 50 is coming. I'm so excited to talk about it. After that, we're going to be talking about Gotham City Garage. Yes, a DC comic. I can't wait. Basically, my entire back order log at my comic book store got paid for, and so now I'm not behind anymore. Well, I still have to read everything, but it's easier to read everything when you actually have physical hold of it. So there you go. Or, I mean, you can always check out, Comixology. They have, everything for a price. For a low monthly subscription. I'm not paid by them. I really wish I was. Somebody get at me about that. But that's everything, so definitely look forward to those videos coming up next week. I know that we're going to, it's going to be a lot easier to plan out what videos are coming, when they're coming out. I believe we're going to talk about My Hero Academia Season 3 after those 2 videos. So we're not, it's kind of like a pump up, jazz up kind of a thing. It's probably going to be a bonus video, so don't worry about it. Anyway, I'm Fire Princess Lily. This has been Transgirl CNC, and until next time, love comics, love cartoons, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!